Outlander Season 7 finally comes to an end with a very emotional episode that will make us all cry. I mean, after the events of episode 15, it is impossible to expect less of a season finale, isn't it? Don't worry though, you are not alone in your sadness. Let's go through the events of episode 16 together, explore who will survive, who will not, and share what we think of the episode together. As you know, Claire ended episode 15 in a pretty dire condition. She is fatally wounded, and her condition remains the same for the most of episode 16. We will talk about whether she will survive this episode or not, but before, we need to talk about Jamie because this tragic incident impacts him the most. Jamie, as always, is caught in the chaos of war, torn between his duty to the revolution and his devotion to Claire. For once and all, he is determined to choose love over duty, and it is perhaps the toughest decision of his life. In the final episode, we will see George Washington confronting Jamie about this decision, while his fellow soldiers blaming him for being a traitor. The thing is, when we talk about an army, we talk about a big commitment with dire consequences once you decide to get out. And those consequences can even be deadly if not navigated carefully. Will Jamie be able to convince people that he is doing this purely out of love? We will see. Then there's William. The poor guy is having a full-on identity crisis after discovering the truth about his parentage. I don't know about you guys, but I'm with him. This is a lot to process. Just like his father, he's now caught between two worlds, his duty to the British Army and his newfound connection to Jamie. And I honestly don't know how he's going to resolve this inner conflict. His confrontation with Jamie is going to be one of the most intense moments of the season, and perhaps the father and son will finally help each other to find peace in their complicated situations for once. William will also realize that Lord John's wisdom is exactly what William needs to navigate this complicated emotional journey, and we will see the two getting even more closer. The teaser suggests that William's new love affair will be the factor that brings all these three men together, as he is determined to save his lover. Whether John and Jamie will support William's love ventures is still a question that is in the air. I mean, let's be honest, he fell in love pretty quickly, and now it is kind of difficult to root for him. Speaking of emotional moments, we should talk about Ian's decision to kill Oberst von Schnell, as its consequences will continue to haunt him throughout the final episode. His love for Rachel pushed him to take a life, and now he is left with his own consciousness. I mean, he's always been so honorable, but in that moment, he did what he had to do to protect Rachel, even if it meant going against everything he believes in. It is safe to say that Ian's emotional turmoil isn't just going to fade away. In the season finale, Ian and Rachel will face their first big fight as a married couple, and it's going to be heartbreaking to watch. I've always rooted for these two, so to see them struggling is going to be tough. And then there's Roger and Brianna, whose storyline continues to pull me in. There's a real sense of urgency in this storyline, especially with the looming threat of Rob Cameron. I'm so worried for Brianna and her family, but at the same time, I'm holding on to the hope that they'll reunite with Roger. In fact, I know for sure that they will finally reunite in the season finale, as Brianna's smile in the end of the teaser suggests that there is hope for the future. That being said, it is also clear that the season will end with yet another danger that is presented by Rob, ruining everything once again while the couple was finally getting ready to take a peaceful breath. Let's get to the big question. Will Claire survive this devastating injury? After seeing her fight for her life in the previous episode, I was holding my breath, hoping she'd pull through. But thanks to a sneak peek photo, I can breathe a little easier, knowing she's on the road to recovery. I mean, she's still looking a little worn out, but she's alive, and Jamie's there by her side. We know that her medical knowledge, especially with penicillium, will eventually come into play. If they stick to the book's details, it's going to be a game changer. That being said, this near-death experience will have an impact on her relationship with Jamie for sure. Jamie will have to redeem himself by proving that he chooses Claire over everything else in life. While Claire will feel sorry for Jamie and the situation he is in, she will also feel sorry for herself and struggle to forgive him. That being said, there is no way that these two would end this season with broken hearts. Am I right? Nevertheless, do not be surprised if George Washington arrests Jamie in the very end, forcing yet another breakup onto this poor couple. For more updates on Outlander, make sure to like and follow. Meanwhile, the video on the screen might also interest you.